back, you're watching Overdrive. Now, just over a year ago, I caught up with Indian racers Arman Ibrahim and Aditya Patel to find out more about the concept of starting India's first franchise-based racing league. Now, the duo was in the process of finalizing a format which would appeal to audiences with a short attention span. They were in the mix of getting some international race drivers, including women race drivers, and also some interesting names for team owners. Cut to a week ago, and they have formally launched the X1 Racing League in India. Along the sidelines of the Esports Racing Championship, I caught up with the duo once again. X1 Racing League is India's first franchise-based racing league co-founded by Indian racers Arman Ibrahim and Aditya Patel. What seemed to be an interesting concept with 6 city-based teams fighting out for a championship title has now turned to reality under the guidance of Ravi Krishnan, one of the most prominent names in the Indian sports, media and entertainment business, and with the announcement of 5 of the high-profile team franchise owners, an interesting list of international race drivers added to the mix of domestic racers and some noteworthy investors. While the season opener is just a month away, X1 Racing Esports Championship is being held across 6 cities in India to uncover new racing talent through sim-based racing. On the sidelines of the inaugural Mumbai round, I caught up with the racing duo to know more about the latest on the league. Last time I spoke to you guys, there was a lot left to be figured out. You all didn't tell me much about the race car. You were still in talk with the sponsors, and a lot has happened since then. So tell me a little bit about your journey.
So, it was 2 years ago. We had just come up with the idea. But yes, a lot has happened since then, and I'm so excited to finally launch it and get things going. We're here at our esports launch. You can see the sponsors that we've got on board. We've got some really good people to back us. Since we last spoke, I think a lot has changed in our whole business. We've built a whole motorsport media platform. We've got 3 pillars, which is the Racing League, the X1 Racing League, X1 Racing Esports, which we're at, and the X1 Racing Speed Summit. So we just want to, build a whole motorsport ecosystem, and that's the only way we can achieve the goal that we have set out for.
You have 2 rounds coming up this year in the championship. What do you hope to achieve out of those 2 races?
A bunch of things. First of all, it's a weekender for everyone. We want families to come. We want people to come and just have it's a full weekend carnival vibe that we're creating there. You have a great level of motorsport, so 3 different formats of racing which will keep you on your toes all the time, keep you engaged with what's going on. You've got drivers from series all over the world, ex-Formula 1, some really well-known names. You've got some of the best female drivers in the world coming to take part, and you've got all the best Indian talent available there too. What's also exciting is that we've got our esports grand finals there. We've got some music gigs happening, some food trucks and whatnot. So overall, the whole package what we're trying to create is you come and just have a good weekend of entertainment and enjoy the sport itself.
You did mention that there are big names involved in the international driver scene as well. How did you go about getting these drivers to rope into the X1 Racing League?
So it's interesting actually. We spoke to all of them. We obviously first approached the people we know and the people we have direct connect with, who we believe will draw some attention in India. For the women, they love the opportunity of actually having to be on a level playing field with all the men. And for the men, obviously they haven't seen formats like this. The fact that we're putting men against women, the fact that it's not just about racing like most other championships are, and it's more about the audience as well. All these factors kind of entice these drivers to come on board with us.
While X1 Racing Esports is creating some serious buzz, Abhinandan Balasubramanian, another co-founder, gave us an insight into the financial workings of the league. Abhinandan, people with a business acumen would like to know that how much does it take to invest in a racing league in India?
See, we are breaking a lot of myth around motorsports. People think you have to start with $1 billion to start a motorsports league, which is not the case. Just to speak economics, we are investing close to about 25 crores in just the execution and production of the overall event, esports and motorsports. Outside of that, there are team owners who are also spending on their respective teams and running of the team. They're spending over $10 million over a 10-year period incrementally, and it's a long-term commitment from them, right? No one is in here with the expectation to get returns in 2 to 3 years.
As a startup, how difficult has it been to go and approach sponsors? Because motorsport, as we know, is a little difficult in India, especially because it's a cricket-crazy country. So how has it been for you guys?
From day one, we've always been very clear on what we want to do, right? And it's always been that there's esports and there's motorsports. And because of that hybrid model of the business itself, we've had backers, venture capitalists and investors who've taken us through this journey. And their support has been fundamental in us getting here.
So what is your plan for the return of investment in the long run basically?
We are looking at giving back a 12 to 15x return within a 5 to 7 year period, and we've seen our valuation grow from the first round of investments to the second round of investment in which people like Mohit Burman and Let's Venture have invested. We've seen that valuation grow over the last 18 months, grow in a 10x without the first season launch, and with everything in place now and rolling, we are expecting to return at least 20-30x to them over the next 10 year period.
The league especially is just a month away. So what is the distribution plan?
Of course, we are in talks with the broadcaster, we are finalizing things with them, and we will be broadcast on television. The idea is to obviously in India have a great marketing plan around it, around the network itself, with them to sort of take it to the other channels and general entertainment channels and not just restrict it to the sports audience. Otherwise distribution, we are also OTT, we have our own channels. We are being internationally distributed as well. We've got a Chinese driver, we've got a Malaysian driver. So those are two markets that we know, Southeast Asia and China, which are huge, which have a huge culture and heritage of motorsports that can also lead into our global distribution. So it's going to be well distributed throughout all platforms.
Remember, the first round of the X1 Racing League will take place at the Bodh International Circuit on the 30th of November and 1st of December, and it will be followed up by the Chennai race track. We will get to all the highlights from that race as well. Time then for us to wrap up this week's edition of Overdrive. Remember, you can stay in touch with the team through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can follow our latest videos on our YouTube channel. We'll see you next week. Until then, goodbye and many thanks for watching.